So this happened last month. Check out that price. Yeah. Better get one while you still can. Welcome back everyone to Vintage Digitals. Today we have an episode that I know you will like, and that is because we are reviewing a calculator watch, the Casio C-701. Now Casio have made lots of calculator watches over the years with different functions, but the C-series is among the first being manufactured. Manufacturing started in 1980, and they had multiple versions of the C-series, the C60, the C70, C80, C701, C801, and the 01 means that they were made in metal. The C60, 70 and 80 they were made in plastic. We will do an in-depth review and we'll be looking at the features of the watch, how it compares into today's terms, and what gimmicks and quirks it has. So let's start the review. Now, in terms of wearability, the C701 sits on the wrist very comfortable. It is not chunky at all, especially in today's terms, and the accessibility of the functions is top class. You can see you have buttons on the sides and buttons on the front. You don't need a stylus to work with the calculator, much like it was for the competition, and this was also advertised by Casio in a satirical way with an advert. Now the keypad for the C701s looks like this, and you can see that it's all rubber, and the top part of the buttons is coated in some either plastic or metal. They are very rigid, and this makes them exceptionally easy to press and to work with your finger. The C-series that had rubber keypad, you can actually see that people have tried to work with a pen on them, and they always show up on eBay with holes in them. My advice is to get one of these, they are more durable. Now the features of the watch are time, date, calculator, stopwatch, and yes, it has dual time. Now for the calculator, it does only basic mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. It doesn't have percentage or square root like some of the competition had, but it does the daily job if you were in the 80s. And one thing worth mentioning is that this watch does not have an alarm. Now the time setting procedure is somewhat peculiar to this watch because everyone will try to adjust the watch by pressing this adjust button, and they will see that nothing happens, or maybe the digits will just flash. To set the time, you actually have to take it in calculator mode, and here you have to write the time on the screen just as if you were inputting them into the calculator. So let's say that we want to make it 9:30 in the evening, and that is 21:30, and then we press adjust, and you can see it's 9:30 p.m. You can also set the date in this manner, and the way it tells the difference between the fact that you are inputting the date or the time, because it is the same procedure, you have to go into the calculator mode. When you set the time, you will only input 4 digits, and that is the hour and the minutes. If you're going to input the date, you will have to enter 6 digits. Now we'll set the date for 1982 December 3rd, and we are going to input the year first, and that is 81, and then we're going to enter the month, December being the 12th, and we said that 3rd of December we're going to type 0 and 3, and now we are going to press adjust, and you can see it's 3rd of December, and we're going to check the date, December 3rd. Now the C-series has module 133, and they all have this module, whether it's the C60, 70, 80, 701, 801. I'm not sure about the C901 if it has this module, but the one in hand, the C701, has module 133. It has 2 batteries. They are SR 1120s, and you can expect about 2 years of battery life from them, depending on how much you use it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, it also has a micro light, because it wouldn't be a Casio calculator if it didn't have one. So one thing worth mentioning, if you are buying this module, if you're buying a watch that has this module, is that they have a weird quirk in that the module at one point gives way and it will not work anymore. It will tell the time, but you will not be able to cycle through the watch's functions. The mode button will just not work. It will make contact. You can open the watch, clean it. If the watch is clean and this still doesn't work, then you've hit that quirk. You can see many people didn't have the watch working, and then they cleaned it up and then it started working again. But this quirk with the button, you can also encounter it even if the watch is clean. I had a couple like these, and you just couldn't cycle through the functions. So what you could do is reset the time when you are at 12 o'clock, and it will just stay in that mode. You won't be able to use any of the watch's functions. The micro light will work, however. So be careful when you are buying one. Make sure to ask if you can cycle through the functions. So what marks can we give the C701? Calculator watches have always been notorious, and this is no exception. Casio have a long line, and this being among the first, it's highly collectible, so 8 out of 10 for collectability. In terms of price, they are not as expensive as a scientific calc watch, but expect to pay well over $100 for a very good looking one. Used models in fair condition are still within the $50 to $70 range, so the price is in the collector's favor. 7 out of 10 for price. Availability will give it an 8 out of 10 because they had high production numbers and high production runs, which means that they are still fairly available today. If you are looking for a good one, maybe you'll have to wait a couple of months for one to pop up, but at any given time you can find one on auction sites. On eBay there are plenty to choose from. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. If you like it, make sure to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I try to release as often as I can digital watch related videos. And until next time, don't forget to wear your vintage digital watches.